In this video, we're going to be breaking down the number one reason why most high ticket closers stay broke and stay poor. Now, I'm going to give you the answer right away, but don't run away or click off this video because you need the full context of the answer. The answer is a lack of offer acquisition skills. Now, I want to preface this point by saying that your offer acquisition skills is not meant to completely supplement your lack of sales skills. A lot of people get this twisted the wrong way or misinterpret the things I say when I talk about offer acquisition skills. You should be able to perform. You should be able to get good at the skill. You should take your skill, your art, your craft very seriously. But the thing that most people don't understand is that getting the offer that's going to enable you to make that money is about 70 to 80% of the work. Now, a lot of you might jump to say, well, this guy says it's closing. That's the best thing. You need to learn how to become a high ticket closer. You need to be blah, blah, blah. Great. That's amazing. This is my opinion. This is my perspective. And it's pretty warranted. Given that I've had 5 years experience doing this myself, I've gone through the transformation. I've spent a lot of money on sales training. I've been there. I've done that. And I've coached over 200 plus beginners to enter in this space over the last year. And this is the conclusion I've come to. Your offer acquisition skills significantly outweigh almost everything else, right? Yes, your sales skills are important. Yes, you need to practice it. Yes, you need to get good. But this inevitably will happen over time, right? You need to have the right mindset for all that type of stuff anyway, right? There's plenty of stuff out there that's going to help you get good at sales skills. But what I've noticed, and what I did notice during my entire sales career, is no one had the answers for me. Nobody told me where to look to find these golden opportunities. Where were these golden gooses where I looked around where people were making 2, 3, 4, 5x my income, yet I trained harder than them, right? I got better than them. I took it more seriously than they did. But why were they making more money than I was? It was because most of the time it was luck they found these opportunities, but really objectively, when you take a look at it, it was 3 things, but main thing being the acquisition skills. And the job acquisition skills is, again, built up of 3 parts. Number 1 is your networking. Number 2 is your interviewing. And number 3 is your screening skills. I'm going to break down all 3 of them and make sure that you're aware of them so you can get better at these skills so you can make more money ultimately. So number 1 is networking, right? If your dream company doesn't know who you are, then how will they ever hire you, right? This is the combination of personal branding. This is the combination of adding value to right communities. This is a combination of being a part of paid communities where there is a paywall to get into it, so people are actually serious and are doing what you want to do or have already achieved what you wanted to achieve, right? If you do not look trustworthy, if you do not look presentable online, who's going to hire you, right? If you don't know people that can connect to these opportunities, the chances that you get hired or even get your foot in the door with an interview is extremely unlikely and extremely low. Most of these top companies that you guys are looking for to make the money that you want to make, right? This is if you're a beginner or even if you've been in the industry for a while. These magical unicorn offers that you're looking for, they're not just going to pop up in Facebook groups or job posts, right? Let's just rationally understand this for a quick second. Would you, as a $1 million per year business owner, hell, let's say that you make 8 figures per year, would you trust some random that you took off the street with your business? It's pretty unlikely, right? These business owners hire through people that they know, and you need to get access to paid networks, paid communities. You need to connect with people. You need to have a personal brand so that you can actually hear of these opportunities in the first place, because you're not going to find them in Facebook groups. You're not going to find them on job boards, where most people look. You need to enter into what I call the hidden job market. This is where you're going to find opportunities through networking and connecting to the right people, right? Networking, that's number 1, right? I wish someone told me that many, many plus years ago. It's probably the top most important thing, right? Your next problem after that, as a part of the offer acquisition, job acquisition skill tree, is going to be interviewing. You're going to be able to generate interviews, but then what, right? If you get on these interviews and you act like every other high ticket closer, who's usually normally very entitled, very unprofessional, you're not going to get the job, right? So even if you get the interviews in the first place, If you don't have the ability to convince and persuade people to work with you, you're going to struggle, right? Simple as, right? It's just facts. And so you need to have the ability to showcase your best version of self that is going to be the most ideal and desirable candidate for the job. I'm not talking about a 10-minute practice video from some guy that told you to put on a suit and tie, dress up well, show up on time. These are the basics. This is the simple stuff. You need to find out the questions that you're probably going to be asked in the interview, like tell me about yourself or what's your experience. You need to practice them. You need to get good answers and you need to perform on that interview, right? You may not be going, if you're a beginner, you may not be going in that interview as the most experienced, the most skilled, but you can definitely go in the most researched and well prepared. And trust me, this, if you can move an inch, you can move a mile, right? With this interviewing stuff. If you actually get good at this, you're going to do a lot better than the people that don't. And trust me, when I say this, I have seen people who are seen or think of themselves as the best closers who have the worst interviewing skills I have ever seen. Terrible, right? I can go up against anyone and I know that I'm going to beat them because I know how to interview well. Interviewing is the art of sales. That's literally what it is. And so you're still practicing the element of being able to sell on that interview. If you're in high ticket sales, that is your job. That is what you do. This is where you showcase your skills. But in specific case being your interviewing skills, right? So that's that. You can generate more opportunities through networking. You can actually land these, unseen opportunities that nobody's heard of, right? The top companies, the best companies in the space. Once you do that, and you have more offers than you know what to do with on the table, which you will if you practice these skills, then what? What's the next step, right? Well, you're not going to just take these offers willy-nilly and you're just going to pick the first one you find. You are going to need to learn what to look for that is your golden opportunity, your golden ticket, right? Most closers just jump and leapfrog to the first offer they see because it looks even slightly attractive. This is what I've seen across the board from beginners to veterans alike. You need to understand, number one, what is it that you're actually looking for? Set a goal, right? If you don't know what you want to make, if you don't know what you want in an offer, you're not going to be able to find it. Same thing as you're looking for your dream partner. It's the same thing here, guys, right? If you don't know what you're looking for in a dream partner, you're just dating around with no goal, right? You're not going to find it, right? So same thing with your business, right? That you want to work with, the client you want to work with, your dream offer. Plot out some questions, plot out some goals for what you actually want in a company, right? Better yet, not only do you need to know what you want so you can ask the right questions, but you need to ask the right questions as well. So by asking the right questions, what exactly do I mean by that? I mean being able to assess different parts of the business to understand clearly whether or not it is a viable option, a viable company that will allow you to get to your goals. So this is why we need to know our goals first. But again, if you lack experience, you're a beginner, you will struggle with this. Even if you're given a book of questions, you're going to be like, well, what do I use this one for? And why am I asking this? Right? This is why it's very, very important to have a mentor who's actually experienced, who's been there and done that and can tell you right from wrong. A big mistake I see a lot of beginners get into is they want to get their first role, and so they jump into a cold calling or a cold DM setting role. They work for a company that's subpar or minimal, low revenue, right? If you don't know what you're meant to look for, you will self-sabotage, you will take the wrong offer, and then you will lose a lot of time, money, and opportunity costs, right? Which is not what you want to do, okay? So that is the number one thing that keeps high ticket closers broke, the lack of those 3 skills. If you want to learn how to get those skills, if you want to become better at this from someone who's been there, done that, and been doing it for years, and has coached over 200 plus beginners in the space to do this now in the past year, you know where to find me. There's a link down in the description of this video. There's a type form. Fill out your details, book a call, and let's have a chat to see if I can possibly, I might not be able to, but possibly help you make the transition into the high ticket sales space and navigate it correctly, right, appropriately, and maybe our goals won't match up, but if they do, I would love to help you get to where you want to go, okay? So that's it, guys. Hopefully you learned something, and I'll see you guys in the next video.